Good morning, No Finish Line Nation. It is a wonderful July 7th, 2017, and I'm hoping that you all are waking up bright eyed, bushy tailed, and ready to go to take on the day. I know I've got my dark roast coffee for Coffee Talk this morning with a splash of sugar free sweet Italian creamer that's on there. That's a nice low alternative for creamer in coffee, seeing as how I've been married now for 15 years, almost with my wife for 20. And I used to drink coffee black back in my days in the Navy, where we would sit down and we would just have to drink jet fuel to get going for the day. But since I've married this wonderful, beautiful Canadian woman, she has turned me into a person that likes some flavor in my coffee. So for me, I have to have a little bit, just a splash, just enough to be able to take some of that edge off, and then also to know that I have caffeine flowing through my veins for me to take on the day. So I hope you have your drink of choice, or if you're out running or you're out on the treadmill, you're running with some water or whatever your beverage is that's there. I put a toast to you to say cheers to you. And here is to a great Friday, July 7th, 2017. So I wanted to talk about this morning on the Coffee Talk about lenses. Now, I went to a training, I'd say about 5 years ago, with the company that I work for right now. And one of the trainings that we did was called Coaching for Performance. And one of the things that we did is we leaned in to be able to find out what the person that you're coaching to, as you're having a conversation, you're breaking down the strengths and you're reaching out to them to really find out what their positives are and the things that they want to accomplish and the things that they want to do, and those kind of things. And so in this training, what we did is as you're talking to somebody and you're having a conversation with them, you had to frame your mind up of how you were thinking before you went into that conversation. So we did like role plays and some acting sessions, and we sat down with them and we were kind of thinking to ourselves, okay, if I'm going to sit down with somebody that maybe internally I'm not really caring for or liking some of the things that they're doing, like for instance, they're late for work all the time, or they don't have a can-do attitude, or they just don't really have that push and drive that you need in a sales environment, which is what I work in a sales environment that we're working together. So I might think to myself, I look at you differently, and I'm coming to you with a different lens or perspective, because I might think that you are someone who's not going to be receptive, or someone who's not going to be able to accomplish the things that we need to accomplish. But I need to still coach you, and I still need to elevate your performance. So I have to change my lens, because I originally go into that conversation with a lens of that negativity, where I need to change the lens from deficiency lens to dynamic lens. Let me talk about that for a second. A deficiency lens is something that somebody's looking through out of a place of doubt, or a place of negativity, or a place of not really feeling like the other person or yourself can get something done or accomplish something. How many of us live in the space of deficiency lens? How many times do you wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, stare at yourself and say, oh man, I'm not feeling it today. I feel fat today. I'm not feeling like I can accomplish something, or I don't want to go for that run, or I don't want to work out, or, I just want to dive into a Boston cream pie. How many? I'll tell you, I know I've done it a lot in my life. I've waken up and I've gone, okay, so I'm going to look in the mirror and I'm going to stare at myself and go, these are my flaws. These are the things that are wrong with me. These are the broken things that are going on. And it totally gets me going in the wrong direction. And the deficiency lens itself starts to break down and bring in all these negative thoughts about myself. So let's talk about dynamic lens, which is as you can tell, the opposite of a deficiency lens. A dynamic lens, if you think of the word dynamic is wide, broad, vast, positive, multi-layered, really energetic and positive. A dynamic lens is one that if you do go in front of the mirror and you are having a good day and you're thinking to yourself, man, I'm rocking these jeans, look at this shirt on me. Man, I'm looking like I can be a rock star and kick some tail today. Dynamic lens is the space you want to get to. Deficiency lens is the space that we normally play in. So changing your lens from the deficiency lens to the dynamic lens takes work and energy, but it's so completely worth it. How easy would it be to attack the day and deliver on all of your goals and all the things that you want to accomplish, all your dreams and aspirations and everything that you're trying to do, if you can take those deficiency lens types of situations and just flip the lens over to the dynamic portion. Deficiency, I'm not feeling that great about myself. I'm not feeling good about what's going on. I don't feel confident in what I'm doing. I don't feel any of those types of feelings. Flip it. Now I'm looking through the dynamic lens, and I can accomplish anything. And I can take any situation that's sitting in front of me, and I know if I work hard at it, and I dig in, and I focus, I can accomplish whatever, whenever, and however I want to accomplish it. It's really difficult to do, but it's something that's very important, even in conversations. So I opened this podcast with talking to other people about coaching, about the way that they are developed, the way we can really lean in on them to make them better. How about your conversations with your kids? Are you looking at it through a deficiency lens or a dynamic lens? Because your kid is a repeat offender to a certain thing, so you automatically doubt the fact that they're going to learn from their mistakes. Are you looking at that way with your spouse or your significant other one? When you go into a situation and you're having an argument or a fight, are you looking at it through a dynamic lens or a deficiency lens? If you can take the time to spend 2 seconds to think of that, to list that out and say to yourself, am I looking at this through which lens am I looking at this? And if you can do that, think about the impact that it'll have on your conversation and the outcome of whatever it is that you're trying to be able to accomplish. I think it's really important to self-reflect. We do a lot of times what will happen is we'll have a situation that goes on and we self-reflect afterwards. We think about what could have been better, what we could have done differently, all those things. And there's a lot of times that we as humans will reflect afterwards after the situation is over, instead of reflecting before we enter into a situation. What a concept. Try to attack it before you get into it instead of reflecting always after it. Now, mind you, even after your situation, it's always good to reflect on, take notes, think of how you were feeling, write down those thoughts of what you were doing that worked, that didn't work, and learn from it. But the pre-work is more important than anything else, because your brain and the way that it works needs to be addressed with every situation. How you're talking to yourself, how you're coming to work, how you're treating your family, how you're treating other people. Because all the other things that you go into life, like let's say for instance, you're a emotional eater, or you're somebody that likes to sit down and just eat a bag of chips when things happen. The way you approach those situations will help the outcome of the situations, and you'll be able to handle it a little bit more. But it's all brain work. It's all the time that you take, that you sit back and you say, how will I attack this? How will I approach this? What is my lens? So that's what the Coffee Talk is about today. Think to yourself, what lens am I looking through as I'm looking in the mirror? What lens am I looking through as I'm entering my workplace? What lens am I looking through as I'm about to have a conversation with my 12-year-old son? No matter what the situation is, there's always a lens and there's always a way of looking at it. And if you can change your lens, even if it's not a total flip, even if you're still in a negative place, but you do a half flip and you're starting to change the lens and you're starting to change the angle of your view, think about the impact that that can have, not only on you, but the end person that you're having a conversation with or the situation itself. Things don't seem as unattainable when you have an attitude that you can attain them. Okay, everybody. So that's it for today. Lenses, right? Remember lenses. If you can flip the script, change your view, change the lens aspect of what you're looking through. See what kind of results you can get from that, because a small change can make a really huge, huge difference. This evening, I'm going to be getting ready to go on vacation over the next week or so at Cape Cod. I am going to bring some of my recording materials to be able to record a podcast or two to continue moving forward, because I feel like there's a lot of great momentum with this and a lot of great situations and good value to the things that we're doing. But there won't be as many, and I hope that you guys will continue to push forward over the next week and really dig in and believe in yourself, okay? So I will send pictures. I will post pictures on NFLN. I'll do a couple videos. Maybe I'll post like a just on the Facebook Live or on NFLN or on Connect or anything like that, just to make sure we stay in touch and continue to move forward, because I feel like this is such a great community that we can lean in on each other and celebrate and be positive and those kind of things. So I will enjoy my vacation with my family, and I will spend lots of good quality time, which is what I need, because my batteries need to be recharged from my work life. My lens needs to change so that way I can come back refreshed and ready to go. Everybody, I really appreciate all of you. I appreciate all the kind words of the podcast. Do me a favor if you can. If you are looking at it through iTunes, or if you follow through iTunes on the podcast, do me a favor and go in and rate it. Give me a little bit of a rating on there to tell me what you think of the podcast, so that way I can get some good feedback and see how it's going. Or even just send me a message or anything like that. So I appreciate all of you, and we will go out there and kick some tail today on this only July 7th, 2017 that you're ever going to get. Have a great one.